Hey, welcome to Running in the 90s.
Insert catchphrase here. Today we're going to be talking about books that made us feel. Back in our childhood, which was ostensibly the 90s, so for once we're actually talking about something that happened in our namesake.
So first on our list, we have for me, The Little Match Girl. It is a Danish poem written by Hans Christian. And it tells the story of a little girl on New Year's Eve in the freezing cold, barefoot, and how she is essentially dying. And as time goes by, she starts lighting the matches she's trying to sell for money and dreams of a better time.
Then that's a simplified version of the story. Isn't it like her mom is like dead and then then the guy is like, you have to sell these matches if you want to live. And then she just dies in the cold because she can't sell the matches and she's lighting them to stay warm. And then she runs out of matches and she dies. The girl dies.
The girl dies. And this is a children's story. It's so sad.
I cried in 4th grade for that.
I read it in 2nd grade. My teacher read it to us. So depressing.
The next book, so this isn't like a sad story as much as it is like a frustrating story about how people just take. It's going to be The Rainbow Fish by Marcus Fisher. So, there's this really cool, really nice, really like just cool fish that has like beautiful rainbow scales. And he's proud of them. He's like, look at my rainbow scales, like I like them. But he's not a jerk about it. He's just like, I like them. Like, he's just like a part of me and they're cool. And then these other fish get mad jealous and don't want to talk to him anymore. And then there's like, I don't know, I forget, like an octopus or a turtle or a box, something tells him, okay, like if you want people to like you again, you have to share what makes you special. So he gives away his scales to all the other fishes, and they don't even wear them, they just hold them like they're like some sort of trinket. And then he's like, now they don't like him, and he only has one scale that makes him special. Overall, I'm just so upset. Just does sort of make me mad every time.
And the story's like about like giving away what makes you unique.
It's for acceptance.
Next on my list is Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. This is a collection of short stories written by Alvin Schwartz. And I read this back in like 4th grade. I remember my teacher reading this. And what's so memorable about this is that even though I don't remember any of the scary stories written in this, I do remember how the stories were scary and how the artwork was totally unsettling as a kid. But I still loved it. It just made me think like, this is some really scary, gruesome stuff. Especially if you remember the Hearst song, which, if you remember from the recent movie adaptation of this film, it talks about how the worms go in, the worms go out, the worms play pinochle on your snout. And it's just a very gory song, and it's just very interesting thinking how this is totally and completely aimed to children.
I did never read Scary Stories in the Dark because I was too scared. And it was just too much for me. But I saw the pictures as an adult, and yes, they did give me nightmares. And the next story we're going to talk about is, y'all love it. You all are real mad at a little boy who grows into a man that you get mad at for it. The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. It's a classic book. It just makes me feel really bad for the tree. Like, I know it's like an allegory for being a parent, about how you give everything to your kids and so you're nothing, yada yada yada. But still, like, in the context of the book, I'm just like, that boy, can you just like get a tree that's not your friend? Like, honestly. Like, there's other trees in the world. Like, just like chop down a tree that hasn't provided from you since you were a child. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird for that.
But you know what? It doesn't have to just be an allegory for parents. It could also be about friends who always give, but you never give back, and you just take. Mm-hmm. It can also equally be that for friends.
And I know it's supposed to have like this like happy ending where like it's like the tree's growing back, but it's gonna happen again. Like just like, I don't know. I just always made me mad every time I read it. I was like, why is this tree giving us all this ungrateful child?
And if you think about it, you never saw his family. Like, we knew he had one because that's part of the story. But you never get to see them to see if those children grow up equally as selfish or if they learn from, the mistake of the past.
I mean, I like to think they learned. That would be nice.
Last on my list is Sadako and the Thousand Cranes, written by Ellen Kaur, who is actually a Canadian-American author. The story follows Sadako Sasaki and her struggle as she deals with leukemia that she got from exposure to radiation after the bombing of Hiroshima. I remember reading the story from the librarian in my elementary school and took weeks to read it, but I remember thinking how sad it is as you follow her through her journey. She used to like have a super passion for running, and then because she started getting sick and they didn't even know why at first, she was hospitalized. She got better briefly, but then she just got worse, had to go back. At one point, her family's even bringing her like all her favorite foods just to get her to eat. She has no stomach to eat because she's dying of cancer. And on top of that, she's making these like cranes because, you know, the old Japanese belief that if you make 1,000 paper cranes, you get one wish. And her making them so like she get the one wish to be better and go run and do the thing that she loves, which in the story never came to fruition. She actually in the story falls short of coming to 1,000 and she dies. Now, this is actually based off the actual story of Sadako Sasaki. Apparently, in the actual story, she actually made over 1,000 cranes, which I think is just more sad, right? Because, like, you made them with the intention of hoping. I know it's, like, a folklore, but I don't know if that... I feel like that makes it more sad, that, like, she actually surpassed 1,000 cranes and still died. I can't figure out which one's sadder. Coming up short or going past that?
I think coming up short is sadder, personally. Actually, fun story about this book. In 8th grade, that was like my 8th grade project. Like, I had to teach a bunch of underclassmen how to like fold cranes, and we were trying to fold 1,000 to wish for world peace.
Really?
That's why our teacher was like...
See, our part of our thing was that we read this and then learned how to do origami cranes.
No, I had to go to all these classes. I had to teach like 2nd grade, 3rd graders how to make origami cranes. And then we like put them all around the school. My art teacher was kind of a hippie. I loved her. She was great though. I loved her hippie attitude. But all art teachers are a little hippie, so.
But either way, Sadako and 1,000 Cranes is still a story that makes you want to cry.
So that's all the books we have, because I don't have a 3rd book because I came underprepared.
That's okay. 5 books that make you want to feel things is better than none.
Anyway, so what else do we talk about?
Staying tuned for more videos to come.
More videos to come. So, just so you know, we don't really have what we might call a pattern or a consistent upload schedule.
But we try very, very hard.
But we try very hard. So if you're watching this video in like concession with a bunch of our other videos, just know that like they're gonna come out. They're gonna be out when they're out. We're always working on stuff. So it's gonna be out eventually. Be patient with us. Love you all. Mean it with all my heartsies. Anything you want to say before you say goodbye, Dana?
Always make sure to look at our videos because we have a combination of really short videos and videos that take quite a lot of work for us to make because there's some serious research into those videos.
She does a lot of the research. I just kind of like show up a lot.
He does, but he does such a good job at it.
Yeah, I'm here. So anyway, catch y'all next time and keep running.
Bye.